porn, Turkish rugs, Maseratis, and Relapse, what you can learn early in your porn recovery journey. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh. Let's break it down together. Okay, so if you haven't seen my videos in a little while, I in fact am dealing with my own recovery journey. And the blessing, the silver lining of this happening to me is that it makes me think of you all the time, because difficult and challenging things keep happening to me over and over and over as I try to recover. So I'm going to tell you some stories of some things that have happened to me in the last week, and I'm going to relate it to your porn addiction recovery journey. And I'm going to make sure you understand that even though it's challenging, it's worth it. Okay, so let us start with Turkish rugs. Okay, so last week I had to move out of my home, had to leave all my stuff behind because it's toxic, and moved into a townhouse where I had to buy all new furniture. Now, because I am sick with mold toxicity, it gives me chemical sensitivities because my immune system is so weak. So I feel pretty good for the most part until I get kiboshed by a Turkish rug. So I buy a carpet and I put it in the new living room, and I gotta tell you, it really buttons the room up. It really brought the room together. I loved it. I thought it was pretty cool. So the carpet's in the living room, and slowly but surely, I feel my eyes starting to bug out of my head. My skin's itching. I'm feeling worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, you know what? It can't be the carpet. Then the next morning I wake up, I'm full blown a mess. And I had my daughter adios that carpet and take it back. And then over the course of 2 days, I got better. Now, what's the point when it comes to you is that I bought a carpet. I've been buying carpets, on and off for a long time. I never thought that a carpet could put me into a tailspin. That's the way that it goes with relapse when it comes to leaving porn behind. You have to figure out what your triggers are. And I'm figuring out what my current triggers are in this new situation. For you, what triggers you, and it risks throwing you back into the screen because that's what your brain needs. So my brain needs to protect my body. My body needs to protect itself. That's why when chemicals come at it, it doubles down in protection mode. Figure out what your triggers are. Maybe it's social media. Maybe it's going out to restaurants. Maybe it's going to the beach. People say to me all the time, I don't know how I can ever recover. I'm like, well, what do you do for fun on the weekends? I go to the beach every weekend. You might not be able to go to the beach right now if you're going to be able to abstain from hypersexuality and fantasy thoughts. The beach ain't the place to stay away from that. So I learned no Turkish carpets. Now, I got better over the course of a couple of days, and I made a video, the video that I made on the marathon, and I'm feeling really good. So now my husband, who is an Enneagram 8, the way he deals with the stress of this whole situation, he buys himself a new car. So he's driven a Maserati for a long time, and apparently, who knows if this is true, I'm sure it is, but apparently it had a service issue, so he took it into the Maserati dealer that gave him this convertible Maserati to drive, which he now has purchased. So he needed to use my big truck the other day to move some stuff. He's like, take the new car. So I'm not really a convertible or a Maserati girl, but I had to. So I put it into convertible mode and I'm cruising and it's great. I'm like, this is a nice new car. Then there's thunderstorm clouds and it starts to rain. So I pull over and I close the top. Now this is all unassuming, right? No big deal. Then I continue to drive. I have to pick my kids up from school. And it starts. My eyes start tweaking. They're about to bug out of my head. I'm itching all over the place. I am going down because of the new Maserati. And I think it was cleaners that they used in it. Of course, my hubby is a little annoyed that now the car makes me implode. But, I did not see that one coming. And I was stuck in the car for like an hour and a half because it was raining and I couldn't put the top down. And I'm sitting in carpool. I had no choice. And so then when I got home, I'm like, the car did it to me. So I didn't see that as a trigger. I did not know new car would send me into oblivion. And that's how it might be for you. You might not know the things that are going to send you back into the screen until you learn from it. So what have I learned? I can't do anything new right now. My system is so weak, it can't handle the chemicals that they used to clean that car before they roped my husband into buying it. I can't handle that right now. So I'm in the townhouse, there's no new carpets, and I'm hunkering down to make myself strong enough so I can deal with a Turkish carpet and a Maserati. That's what you need to do. This is a time to get serious about figuring out what triggers you so that you can get strong enough, because they won't trigger you forever. It's not going to trigger me forever. I have to build myself up. That is the journey of recovery. That's the point about the marathon. So the marathon means that the journey is not the same the whole way through, but you have to get started and you have to learn along the way. I've talked about this before, that when we're building new neural pathways, it's essential to keep going on the new pathway and not go backwards. And actually, my doctor said that to me the other day, is that I really have to reduce these flare-ups or I'm going to become even sicker. I'm like, reduce it? I don't even know what's causing it. But the solution is, don't do anything new right now. So for you, figuring out how to stay on the new neural pathways and not to go back on the old ones. So if that means staying away from restaurants so you don't check out waitresses, if that means not going on the internet and only watching Disney Plus, then, which has really good shows these days, by the way, it means you can stay the course on the new neural pathways and let these old ones die down so you can become strong and well and rock out the journey of recovery, as I plan to do. So I hope that this video helps you to be able to do that, because like I've said before too, is that if you fall and you stumble and you have a relapse at the beginning of this journey, sometimes that's par for the course. It can be avoided if you just hunker down and do the things you need to do. If I didn't take the Maserati, if I didn't buy a new carpet, I wouldn't have had those relapses of mine. But I did those things not knowing they were going to make relapses. But I've learned I will not be doing anything new so that I can stay the course. And the point is, at the beginning of this journey, it might be a little messy. I know mine has, for goodness sake. But I'm learning, and I'm not going to keep tripping over the same rocks on this pathway. I'm going to learn and I'm going to avoid them, which means I'm going to get momentum and I'm going to come out of this thing even better on the other side. That's what I want for you. That's what you deserve, and I know you can do it. So get strong, learn from your triggers, and let's rock this journey out together. Okay, if you're looking for help, please go over to drtrishleigh.com. I've changed the name to Dr. Trish Leigh and Company because my awesome team has really been helping me to serve you during this wonky time of mine. So go on over there. We have a digital program. It's the 90-day comprehensive complete essential guide. It's exactly what you need.